Hey guys, in this training, we're going to cover the components of a video and the different levels of involvement for each. What are the stages of making a video from start to finish? The publish checklist I use for every video that you can just copy, how to make everything more efficient, and when to post. So this training is going to be focused on my current process for monetise Media, which is the exact same process any faceless channel would use to make videos. But if you're going to be on camera, the only real difference is instead of recording voiceover, you'll record video footage. Okay, so let's dive in. The components of a video. There's really 4 core video components. Number 1 is the script, written by the scriptwriter. These are the literal words of what will be said in the video. It involves researching the topic and turning that into an engaging story or script that will hold attention. Number 2 is the voiceover, recorded by the voiceover artist. This involves reading the script word for word into a microphone in an engaging way. Number 3 is the video, created by the video editor. This involves finding and creating assets to match the voiceover recording, including stock footage, clips, graphics, animations, etc., as well as adding music and sound effects. And number 4, the thumbnail, made by the thumbnail designer. This involves creating a captivating image to represent the video and entice viewers to click. So let's talk about the levels of involvement in each component. It's important to note that for each different job role we've just mentioned, you can think of 4 different levels. Level 1 is the task is done fully by you. Level 2 is the task is partially done by someone else and they help you with it. Level 3 is the task is executed by someone else, but you're the director guiding them and overseeing the process, as well as having input and bringing your specialized knowledge. So for example, suggesting changes, ideas, and revisions. And at level 4 is the task is fully automated and you have no involvement. To begin with, if you don't have money to invest, everything will be level 1, done by you. This isn't necessarily a bad thing, as it can help you understand each role better. But the quicker you can get more of the tasks to level 3 or 4, the better. That's why later in this course, we'll focus a lot on how you can hire team members to help you, even with a small budget. Of course, as you get more advanced, you may even consider hiring a manager to manage the team on your behalf to further automate the whole process. Now let's talk about the whole video process from beginning to end. Let's start with the slightly bad news. A bit more effort goes into creating a YouTube video than most people realize. This is another reason why making less videos but higher quality videos makes a lot of sense. But the good news is I'm about to give you a clear system to follow. Throughout this course, we'll be covering each of the stages of production in depth, so you or your team know exactly what to do at each stage. But in this training, let's start with a simple overview of what happens to go from a random idea to an actual video. This is the process a monetise Media video, or any faceless video, typically goes through. So, number 1 is actually selecting an idea or topic. In the training about coming up with endless video ideas, you'll learn exactly how to come up with lots of great ideas. But step 1 is being selective about which of these to actually pursue, which may involve a little preliminary research to make sure it's definitely a subject worth covering. Then, step 2, once you've chosen an idea, the research begins. If I'm writing a video, I'll go through lots of different sources and make notes on a Google Doc called research. I'll always try to find any books on the subject to make notes on, and collate everything into a Google document. Step 3, create a separate Google document called script, and begin turning the research notes into a script. At this stage, you're putting the research into your own words, focusing on the aspects of the story you want to tell, and using storytelling techniques to create an engaging narrative. Divide the script into different chapters to make it easier to write, by focusing on just one key aspect or section of the story at a time. Once you've got a first draft of the script, you can go back through and improve it further, and do more research on certain aspects if needed. Step 4. Once the script is fully finished, the voiceover is recorded, which is reading the script aloud into a microphone. Then any mistakes in the voiceover recording are cut out. Step 5. The final voiceover file is sent to the video editor along with the script Google Doc. You can go through the script document and add comments to every part where you have a specific visual idea. So for every sentence where I envision a certain graphic or a certain type of clip, I'll add a comment on the script Google Doc as a note to the video editor. However, you don't need to do this for every part of the script. The editor can come up with their own ideas. Step 6. At the top of the script document, I'll also give the editors some general guidance and instructions for the overall video. For example, you can say if you want them to use specific colors or fonts or music, and give links to any references for the visual aesthetic and design. Step 7. When the video editor is done with the first draft of the video, there's software called frame.io you can use, which makes it easy to give feedback. You can even add annotations and notes on specific parts of the video to make it clear what needs changing. Sometimes multiple rounds of revisions may be needed. Step 8. Whilst the video editor is working on the video, you can send instructions to the thumbnail designer on what the thumbnail should be. Or simply tell them what the video is about and maybe share the script and ask them to come up with their own ideas. You may need to send some revisions to the thumbnail designers to tweak things and try different variations. Step 9. Once all the editing revisions you request are complete, the editor will do the final export of the video. You can then begin the publish checklist, which is all the things you'll need to do when uploading the video to YouTube, like adding the title and thumbnail. Checklists are one of the most effective tools for keeping everything as organized and efficient as possible. For any repeatable process in your business, it's good to have a checklist to ensure nothing is missed, and so that other team members could also do the steps if needed. I'll share with you roughly what my published checklist looks like, which is the steps I go through once I have the final export of a video from the video editor. You can of course customize these to suit your needs and add or delete things as appropriate. And at step 10, once everything on the checklist is done, the video status can be set to published so the world can see it. You then breathe a sigh of relief and repeat the process all over again. Now, as you scale up your team, you'll have multiple projects ongoing at once. So different videos will be at different points in this process. For example, whilst your writer is working on a script, a past script of theirs will already be being edited by your video editor. But if all of this is feeling a little overwhelming, don't panic. The more you go through this process, the easier it will get, and there'll be loads of strategies throughout this course to make things much more efficient. Of course, as soon as possible, you'll be hiring team members to help you too. So there is a lot of this process that won't even involve much work from you directly, as you can outsource the parts you don't want to do. It's also important to note that you can make the whole process much more efficient by batching, which means that rather than working on one video at a time and going through every stage for every single video, it normally makes more sense to work on multiple videos at a time and focus on one stage at a time. So for example, you can record multiple voiceovers all at once while your recording equipment is already set up, or you can come up with ideas for multiple thumbnails all at once. That way you get into the zone with each specific task and you save a lot of time. But once your video is complete, there is the question you may have of when should you actually post it. YouTube says there's no evidence that post time has any impact on a video's overall long-term success. And my personal experience has been the same. It really doesn't matter when you're making evergreen content that's still going to be getting views for hopefully years to come. You can post at any time. That said, in your analytics in YouTube Studio, if you click on the audience tab, it shows you when your current audience is most active on YouTube. So posting at those times would make the most sense if you want to try and reach as many people as possible right away. Because as we've discussed already, it's all about when the audience wants you to post, not the algorithm.